and we have football royalty in the house today, Wes, joining us. Not one, but two-time Super Bowl champion from the Burgundy and Gold, the one and only Bryant McFadden. You can check him out on CBS HQ. Does a great job. B-Mac, it is awesome to have you back in the house, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for the invite. You know, you decided to give me a nice meal, Wes, and then, of course, you want to put me to work, so I'm always excited when I get a chance to get my belly filled up the right way.
That's what we figure we do, Wes. We get a little steak and B-Mac first downstairs at Barry's here at Circuit, then coming up and do the show.
That's a good place to get full.
Facts.
B-Mac, me and Wes were just talking about the teams have arrived, so you know what this is like playing in 3 of these and winning 2.
Mm-hmm.
What is this like for the players now once you touch down in the city of choice, knowing that the fun, you got to do the media stuff still coming up, but when do you really get down to work?
Right now, you talk about landing, tonight. The first thing that we did was go get acclimated to the new environment. You want to go test out the weight rooms, understand where the weight rooms are, the locker rooms. Try to make it as home as best as possible, because this will be your home for almost a week. And you want to make sure you're comfortable. You want to make sure you know where everything is located, so you can go ahead and have a smooth transition to and from the hotel to the facility. So that was the most important thing for us. And the teams that I was on that we played in 3. We instantly wanted to go get a workout. We want to test things out to kind of see exactly. Really? Yeah, that Monday was more of a getting acclimated to the new environment. For us, it was an opportunity to go ahead and let's see what it feels like. Get our bodies back going to the same motion, because we want to have the same schedule as possible that we had throughout the entire postseason run, because we felt like keeping that normalcy was important.
Now, B-Mac, when did you get into the stadium during Super Bowl week? Because tomorrow they're going to have the big event. They changed that a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. Now they have the Super Bowl opening night where they do a lot of the traditional media day stuff. So when did you get in? Was it later in the week, or did you go early?
Well, we would arrive, I would say, on a Monday. And the first time we touched foot in the stadium would probably be media. Mm-hmm. Because I remember in Detroit, we had media day there in the stadium, Ford Field. Second one was in Tampa. We had media day there in Tampa as well. And the third was Jerry's World. It was bad weather, so I think we changed.
Oh, I remember that, the ice storm.
The ice storm was horrible. But the first 2 for sure. The first day, which was media day, I think during those times was on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that was the first time we got a chance to be in the stadium and, understand where our locker room would be and et cetera.
Right. When you look at what ultimately wins and loses a game, we were kidding before the show about the one loss against Green Bay. It's small things, right? Wallace is open on a potential touchdown pass. We all know about the Mendenhall fumble, but yet a missed field goal as well. Little things can affect the outcome. For these coaches like Andy Reid, that's won a couple of these, Kyle Shanahan, who's been in one, been oh so close, even as an assistant in the ATL and not getting it done. Mm-hmm. Is there a difference between those little things that ultimately lead to winning and losing for a coach that's done it and a coach that hasn't gotten it done yet?
It's a big difference. When you look at the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game, little things led to a team losing and the other team winning in both sides. And that's the same when you talk about the Super Bowl. That's why it's so entertaining to watch. When you watch playoff football, when you watch Super Bowl-like football, a small mistake that is a small deal in regular season play is a big deal in postseason play, because you might not be able to get over that said mistake. So when you factor in the job that Andy Reid has done throughout his coaching, resume, especially in postseason play, he understands situational football. He understands when to kick a field goal instead of when not to go
Dan
for
Campbell.
it, right? Yeah, no question, Dan Campbell. So for me, it's about that is a matchup that a lot of people are not talking about. I know we're talking about Brock Purdy, Pat Mahomes, both defenses, Steve Spagnuolo. What about the head coaching matchup, right? Because the last 2 times that Kyle Shanahan has coached in the Super Bowl, he's been a part of the 2 biggest blown leads in Super Bowl history. And that has to be in the back of his mind. You know what I mean? So that is a big matchup that a lot of people are not talking about, that I think is going to play a huge play in the winner or the loser in this ballgame.
Yeah, what Brian just said, every team's got to get a break, right? Mm-hmm. Kansas City got a break. Allen missing, Shakir wide open in the back of the end zone, the missed field goal, the pass that went off Vildor, I believe, right in Ayuk's hands, off his face into his hands, and then the fumble on the ensuing drive. So both these teams have got to get breaks. But Bryant, what you're saying in terms of like the coaching matchup, like Kyle Shanahan, what he's known as one of the better early scripters. Like he's one of those guys, first 15 plays are scripted. His opening script is usually good, but they've been getting down the last 2 games early on because Detroit takes the football, Green Bay takes the football. Shanahan always likes to defer, control that last 4 and that first 4, that middle 8. So what do you think that the 49ers do to adjust? Assuming that they win the toss and defer again, do you expect that, okay, Kansas City's a run funnel defense, so we're going to actually run the ball? Because I felt like Buffalo laid that blueprint. They just didn't win the game, and Baltimore didn't follow it.
Well, the thing about Kansas City defensively, that has been the Achilles heel for their defense. The inability to stop opposing offenses' rushing attack. People just don't do it. But if you look at when offenses have devoted themselves into running the football like a Buffalo Bills-led offense, you can have success because they have great defenders. They have a great scheme, but oftentimes they're vulnerable in the interior of their defense for whatever reason. So for San Francisco, they're one of the more, successful rushing attacks in the National Football League led with CMC. They're going to run the football. They're going to run the football, and that has to be the calling card for Brock Purdy to have success because their offense is so predicated on play-action passes, rhythm-like throws. If they can get the running game going, that's when their offense can potentially become unstoppable. So that would be my mindset. Run the football, get the ground game going. Wes, you talked about, I don't know what Baltimore was thinking. You got to the AFC Championship game running the football. Why would you detour and go the opposite direction? That's something that I do not understand. Coach Kyle told us something that was so impactful my rookie year when we got into the playoffs. He said, whatever you guys were doing, keep doing it.
You did it well against Peyton Manning, too, to help him get
keep
all
doing
the way,
it.
right? You and I have talked about this for over a decade since we've known each other. And I ask you this question all the time. How do you play defense anymore? We saw it with James Bradbury last year. It was a game-altering call, 35-all, little tug, 5-yard penalty, changed that whole game, maybe very anticlimactic. How the game is called Sunday, how important is that? Because it feels like Kansas City might be a little bit stickier with their DBs than maybe San Fran.
They've been sticky the entire season. Luckily enough for the Chiefs, they gotten away with some of those issues. But you just got to play football. The best recipe in slowing down an offense is hitting them. When you put that Rydell on them or the Schultz, whatever helmet style these guys are wearing nowadays, it's going to slow you down. Just think of it as now. We play football. If I hit you one good time, Wes, what you going to do? You're going to think twice the next time you come across that middle or coming through the A gap.
Wes is pretty thick.
No question. But yet and still, if you hit him the right way, he's going to second guess. Oh, I got to run this ISO again. Last time that linebacker just put one on me, coach. Internally, these are the thoughts that we have. And that's the thing with offenses. These offenses are so prolific. But if you can start hitting them the right way, hit them in the right way legally, they're going to start becoming a little more timid when those opportunities arise.
And this is always a mixed crew, right? It's not the same crew you necessarily work throughout the regular season with, but it is Bill Vinovich, by the way, on this game. And Vinovich has a reputation of letting guys play.
Yeah.
Doesn't call a lot of the ticky-tack stuff. So that's why he's one of my favorite referees, but it's not necessarily his crew. So you might get a line judge from another crew.
But you know what you should do? Hey, Bill, how you doing? How the family doing? Everybody good, man? Good to see you, man. You looking real good. You been working out? Hey, now just know if it's a little 50-50, man, just give me a little leeway. Come on, just give me a little way. Just milk him a little bit.
Every little edge matters.
It works.
We got 90 seconds, B. I got to ask you, put you on the spot. Sider total, Niners by 2, totals 47.5. Do you see an advantage in any of those numbers?
Yeah, the advantage is the betting trend I'm following, Pat Mahomes, as an underdog. He's 10-1-1 ATS. He hasn't been an underdog a lot in his professional career, but when he has been in that underdog role, he's covered. And you talk about 2 points right now, hey, you want to buy it up? Go ahead. But I'm taking Pat Mahomes because the money and the trends tells us when he's an underdog, he's covering.
You want to ask him about Florida State?
What do you want me to ask him about Florida State?
Should Florida State have been in the college football playoff?
I mean, you know what? That's probably a sore
Wes,
subject.
do not answer that question. That's like asking Dave, should the Cowboys be playing in the Super Bowl?
Right.
Too soon, B-Mac.
He can get that backhand and backhand it right back to you like this tennis we're watching right now.
B-Mac, any visions of coaching for you someday? Because we watch you. I know you were down with the team last year at Florida State. You were part of that spring stuff. Any interest for you?
No, I like doing this. This is not as stressful as coaching.
It is not.
No,
but you enjoyed it.
We don't talk. We don't work. We talk ball.
You're going to enjoy your week, man. You're not going to be like having 16-hour meet days with the coaches. And
I don't work
out.
a day in my life. I just talk ball.
If Florida State was in the college football playoff, what would have happened?
We would have won it.
I don't
Case
know
closed. Nothing else to talk about.
Don't know about that. 2-time Super Bowl champion, Bryant McFadden. Appreciate you, brother, as always.
Thank you.
He is the best, everybody. Give him a follow, as I do on X. What is it at, BMac?
It's still X. I keep saying Twitter. BMac_sports talk.
Don't forget the underscore.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.